Right, so I am on the little Suzuki. So I've had this bike a couple of weeks now, and it's pleasantly taken me by surprise. Yeah, it really has taken me by surprise. I wasn't expecting like absolute miracles from it, because I don't know, like a lower end, well not lower end, but sort of a cheaper littler bike. I was sort of expecting not the quality that I've got from it, but it has pleasantly taken me by surprise. It is a really, really nice bike, so I just thought I'd do a little bit today. Like I say, I've had it a couple of weeks now, so I just thought I'd do a little bit today, show you a little bit of it, how I'm getting on with it, because I take it back Friday, which is going to be sad because I actually really like it, but I am collecting another bike while I'm there, so silver linings and all. Yes, when you're cruising along, like the day I brought it home, I had to do a little bit stretch of the bypass, just like 20-30 miles on the bypass, and it was so smooth, like I didn't know it was really running. Obviously it's quite quiet, it's got the standard exhaust on it, but I didn't know it was actually running. So like now you can't really hear it, but yeah, it's sort of smooth. I had no vibes through the handlebars, the foot pegs, anything like that, but my other half took it for a ride, and he did. He said he had a little bit of vibration through the foot pegs, but I don't know if it was anything drastic, but he just said he could feel it there. Like lower gears, then I've got vibe, which is normal on pretty much every bike. But yeah, it's sort of like now as smooth as anything. It really is. It has got an up and down shifter. I've just found it to be a little bit clunky. So little bits like that, I'd just rather use the clutch. It's not the end of the world, it's what it's there for, but yeah, just little bits like that I just find ever so slightly clunky. As you can see, the bike jolted quite a bit there. Normally, like first to second, I would be using the clutch to change up, because it is quite a clunky box. But when you're revving it hard, like there, it's smooth as anything. So once you've got a bit of rev behind it, the quick shifters and the downward is nice and smooth, but just putting on about, like if you were filtering and you need to change up to second or third, I would just use the clutch, otherwise it's quite funky. The handles like a dream. I'm about to go through a little bit of twisties when I get through this village, and you can see just how nicely it sort of handles. Turn that back on one, just because it rained a little bit. I think it's spitting again now actually. As you can see, most of the time I've got it switched off, but we had a bit of rain last night, and obviously it's been dry and hot for so long and all the greases out of the road, so I'd rather be safe than sorry and just have it on just in the background, just in case. I don't think I'm going to need it, but fuel, so 200 and something mile there, trip, miles gone. There you go. So it's 83 miles left in the tank. It's done a total of 3,127 miles, 14.2 volts in the battery. The only bit that confused me, and I think is a little bit odd with it, is obviously the speeds in miles per gallon. It's saying I've got 83 miles left in the tank, but that one, so what you're currently doing, the miles per gallon that you're doing, is in kilometres. Like, I find that odd. Like, all the rest is in miles per hour, or miles per gallon sort of thing, but just that one is in kilometres. So I just find that a little bit odd to deal with, like. Very difficult and boring. I would love to take it on track, just to see how it handles on track and how it holds out, and it just feels very, very I've got to go a little bit steady through this one because it's a horse yard, and they're often walking. I've got horses up and down, so I might just cut this little bit out of the video. But biggest surprise bike of the year. Out of the ones I've ridden so far this year, the XSR 900 GP has been my all-time favourite. But I tell you what, this one's in there competing. It has done really well. It is a really nice bike. There we go. Get some nice pictures of it here. I wonder if I can get it through there. Actually, I know there's somewhere else I can do that, and I can take it right down into the forest. That'll be even better. We'll do that in a minute. Whew. Right, let's get set off again. Oh yes, I was quickly going to talk you through the modes. Let's put it back in neutral. So it's so easy. Obviously you've got mode, off, 1, 2, 3. 3 is like pissing it down with rain, wanting to be proper safe. 2 is a little less chill. 1 is just there in the background, and then obviously off. Then you got rider modes A, B and C. C again, in the rain, not wanting to dingy too much, just poodling about sort of thing. B, a little bit, it's alright, you're there, you're doing it. A is your more, let's go play mode and have a bit of fun. I probably should have ridden it in the other modes, but I haven't. I've just kept it in A. For me, that power delivery, that how it is in A, is absolutely fine. Like I said earlier, I haven't been using it with the traction control on either until today, because it's been wet, really, really hot, then wet, so all the greases are out the road, and I just want that little bit of security. So it's not like a total intrusive traction control either. You wouldn't even know. But yeah, A mode isn't like rip your arms off, gonna kill you mode either. It's still very, very placid, very nice mode to be in. So, but yeah, there you go. So when they're in light grey, that's when you can change them. When they're both black, you can't. So it doesn't know. There we go, there's neutral. Yeah, so as you can see, quite a simple dash. It's also got the automatic headlights thing as well, so when I was going through a tunnel on the way home, we're picking it up, went through a tunnel, it changed the dash black and obviously the lights come on and stuff, all the normal stuff on your bikes nowadays. As you can see, really easy. Switch gear, your lights to go through your modes. This one will then go through your mileage and your trips and stuff here. So again, really simple. I want to put it back on. That one, indicators, horn, kill switch, and then your hazard. It is super easy and 100% one of the easiest bikes to learn, so you can't really go wrong with it. The other bit I liked is you don't have to hold the starter, it just to click and it goes. My one you have to hold down, so I find that a bit odd, but it's cool. Right, let's keep riding, shall we? I want to sit and babble about. Riding position, to be fair, like a sports tour riding position, which is kind of what it is. It's not sports bike expensive, it's like a bit more sports touring. So the whole time I've not had a single bit of backache or mistake or anything. It's sat quite up. I honestly didn't think that was the lorry man saw me then. I did get a numb bum on it, but I did do like 200 miles before I got a numb bum. So can't complain about that really. I think most riders should get numb bum at 200 miles. But like I said a minute ago, like now you don't understand it. It's so smooth. So smooth. There's no vibration. Can't hear the engine. Which is what I'd like. I'd stick a different exhaust on it if it was me, just to have a little bit of mic behind you. But that's just the way I like having an exhaust, apart from my exhaust put on. Yeah, it's quiet, it's smooth, it's comfortable. What more could you ask for, to be honest? Like I said, it's one bike that really has taken me by surprise. Everyone has that. They're going to ride a bike, you're like, oh, I don't really know what I'm going to think of that, and then when you get off it, you're like, oh, actually, it's alright. That always makes it a bit better, doesn't it? I wish this bit was a bit prettier. It's just very black and clunky, like. There's a lot of like big bulky black stuff there. So I do wish that just a slightly bit prettier. I understand if they put clip ons, you obviously would have a lower handlebar, which they weren't looking for, but there's definitely like nicer risers that you could put there to make it just that little bit nicer. I think that would make it. I've never seen so much traffic round here. It's normally empty as anything round here. this really shit surface. See? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll park up here. Oh my good god. It's been so wet and so dry. I'm in a weird rut. I'm going to figure this out off camera. Right, so here I am with the Suzuki, the GSX-8R. Pre-warning, if I run towards camera, it's because a car's pulled in here. It's like a middle of the forest where people need to walk their dogs and stuff. So if I suddenly run towards you and it all changes, that's why I need to move. But anyway, back to the bike. GSX-8R. This bike has taken me for a surprise. I've had it for 2 weeks now and it goes back Friday. It really has taken me by surprise. It's one of those bikes where you look at it or you see it on the internet, you're a bit like, huh. But ride one, because it really did surprise me. It handles well, it's got plenty to get up and go, it's quite pokey, the brakes are decent on it, it's simple enough to use. It has been a great little bike to ride and it has taken me by surprise. There's little niggly bits with it, but I think that's the same with any bike that you ride. Whatever brand, whatever bike you get, there's niggly bits. But I have to say, they're very far in between. It's a lovely bike. So on a few of my other videos, people have been saying, can you say a little bit more about the stats of the bike? I don't mind doing little bits of it, but I'm fully one that I don't want to stand here and just read stats of the bike. You don't need, well, you might want to, but the distance between the wheels and stuff, come on. If you're that desperate to know, I recommend you go on the MCN page. But I will tell a little bit because it's only right to. I just don't want to bore you all just doing stuff like that. But I will do some stats of it. So it's 776cc and it's 82 brake horsepower. So it could be A2 compatible. You could have it restricted to make it 47 brake horsepower for A2. It's one that I would say do if you're looking for or you're on your A2 license. I would say restrict it and look into doing it on the A2, just because it's a confident, forgiving bike to be riding. Like I said, it handles well. It will fill you full of confidence to when you upgrade, and then you haven't got to faff about buying a new bike. You just take the restriction off. So I do think it's a good one to look at as a beginner bike, but not just for beginners anyway, for everyone. It's a cracking bike. So it can be A2 compatible. You could have it restricted because it's only 82 brake horsepower. I will check to make sure that there is a restriction kit for it. I quite believe there is. But yeah, it's 205 kilogram. Now, look at the size of it. It doesn't look a weighty bike, but it's quite heavy. I consider that heavy. My Tiono is 209 kilogram, and that's a V4 1100 factory. So I do think it's quite heavy. Obviously, this is a twin. I class it as a mini twin sort of thing. So in my eyes, it's a heavy bike. But for what you get with a bike now, it probably isn't in the modern market. They're all roughly around that price with the aids and stuff that they put on the ABS. It's all added weight, isn't it? So I think it's a heavy bike personally, but when you're riding it, you can't feel it at all. It's so light and so nimble to flick about, and it's confident in the corners. There's no hint there that it's a heavy bike at all when you're riding. It's got quite a low seat height too. I'm sort of stood on a righty bit of ground, so you can't really tell. As you all know, I'm 5'1". I'm quite petite. I'm quite small. I can get both my feet down quite comfortably. So you can use me as a guide. I have got a tall inside leg though, so just bear that in mind if you're using me as a guide for the seat height. But I'm more than comfortable on it. It's not uncomfortable in any size, shape or form. It is a good bike. Niggly bits. like I said on the film, the miles per gallon, miles per hour, and then suddenly the weird little bit of kilometre. It doesn't make much sense to me. Make it all the same, not have all one section and then just one in the other. This handlebar bit, it looks a little clumsy. Like I said in the video, again, there was nicer risers that you could do with it. And the biggest thing that I noticed and my dad noticed, first pointed out, this. Right, it's lovely. Well, it's not. It looks horrible. It sticks out a mile. But you think, yeah, I'll stick a tail tidy on it. But where are you going to put the tail tidy? Because standard plate size isn't then going to fit here. It's going to be at a rum angle. It's not going to fit in this gap. And the rear tail light is in this unit. I think it's Evotech. They make a tail tidy for it, and then you have like this stuck on rear light thing here, which not my cup of tea, not something I'd be looking at doing. But yeah, you look at this is a standard plate. It's not going to work. So I don't know how you'd work around that or how you'd do it, but this, I'd have to take this off. Yeah, I'd probably go full rebel and just stick my plate underneath. I don't recommend people do that. You will get nicked for it. It's not legal. As bad as it sounds, I would rather that than this sticking out so far, because not only because the back end of the bike is so stubby, that seems to stick out miles. So I'd have to change it. The gear changes, from first to second, I'd use the clutch unless you're absolutely pinning it, because it's a little bit clunky. And the same with coming down on the shifter. Sometimes it can be a little bit clunky. It's not overly smooth. But if you're pinning it and you're boop, boop, boop up the gears, smooth as anything. Like silky smooth, it'll go in. It's just other times it's just that ever so slightly niggly and clunky. But as I said in the video, it's so easy to use. Everything, the dash is, I want to say basic, but it's not basic. It's not like all the super bikes and stuff now, but it's not a super bike. So yeah, it's easy to use. It's fairly economical. It's got to get up and go. It handles well. It brakes well. It does everything you need it to do. Like I said, the suspension is a little hard for me. I would tweak it a little bit for myself. But my other half then said it was bouncy. But I can't comment on stock suspension like this and not electronic suspension on here, because I can't comment on people's weights. So if your weight is different, the suspension is going to be different because it's standard suspension. If it's electronic, it adapts and whatnot and does what work for each and every person. But standard suspension, everybody's going to have to tweak it. Like, it's hard for me, but it's squidgy for my husband. So it is what it is with standard suspension. You have to tweak it. You have to play with it. You have to get it right for you. It's a good bike for the money. I will say that. Like, it's 8,700, I believe it is, which an entry-level bike, I don't know if I can call it an entry-level bike, because it's not entry-level. Entry-level is what I call like an A2 compatible bike, like the smaller BHB, like the 47. But if you do your direct access, it's very much an entry-level bike. It's yeah, I don't really know how to say it, but it's confident building. It's easy enough to ride. There's nothing major with it that you're going to twist the throttle and chuck yourself off, sort of thing. But saying that, it's very much an every person bike. As most of you know, you'll see what I can ride. You see that I track, I'm thinking and whatnot, and I would happily be riding this. I really want to take it on a track day. I think it would be phenomenal. Just to ride a smaller flickable bike on track, I think it would be great fun. So I would like that to try. And yeah, so your superbike riders to your A2 riders, it fits every category that you want it to fit. It will do what every biker on the road wants a bike to do. And I think Suzuki have hit the mark with it. Yeah, they've done a really, really good job. People are saying to me online, I don't really want to know anything about it. It looks boring. It is a boring bike. It's not. It's actually not boring. I had the same thought when I went and picked it up. I was like, is that actually going to be very thrilling? But it is. It's got plenty of get up and go, trust me. And it handles well. Like I keep saying, it handles well because it really does. The front end is light in slower stuff, which if you're nimbling through traffic and filtering through London, spot on. But it's not light that when you're going into a corner, you've got no front end confidence because it's still there. It isn't boring. I can tell you it's not boring. I've had a right laugh on it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm sad that I've actually got to give it back on Friday, but I have got the S coming, so exactly the same, just naked, which I'm also looking forward to see how it compares with this one and which one of the two I'd actually choose if I was to buy a bike. Because the S is the naked version, but it's not going to be uncomfortable. The same as this isn't uncomfortable. It's still very much an upright, comfortable position to be riding in. So I'm intrigued to know between the two of which one I would choose in the end. But yeah, most of it I've explained in the riding along video. I've explained a little bit here of what I think about it with the back and that. Like, I reckon it'd be quite comfortable for a pillion as well, you know. When I get home, I'm gonna get my other half to sit on the back of it. He's a lanky great bastard, so him sat on the back will be quite a good guy to see if it's comfortable or not. But go and ride one. You just have to look online to see the reviews, to see how good the reviews are of it. So go and ride one. Go and take one for a spin. Just see what you get on, and you'll come back, and then all the things that you thought about it would be gone. You won't think it's boring. You won't think it's a little bike. You'll just think, actually, Suzuki have done really well with this. And hats off to them. But on that note, I want to go riding again, and I've rambled on enough. And I've said the stats that you all said that you wanted a bit more of. I've only said a few of them. I am going to find out the seat height because it is low. But yeah, the main ones that you need to know about the weight and CC and all the stuff that you need to know, I've said. So I think I'm good to go. I really want to go riding again. So let's go, shall we?